to Angela, but I call her Yee.
Hey, what's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. Everybody was watching a Love Island reunion yesterday. So you know we're going to talk about that today and what's been trending from that. As soon as I walked in today, everybody was like, did you watch Love Island yesterday? Did you watch Love Island yesterday? So, of course, we have some highlights for you guys about what happened on that reunion. Also, we have a special guest joining us today. Tasha Cobbs Leonard is going to be here. She has a new album that's out. This is her first ever studio album. She's only done live albums. So now this is a studio album that she put out last month. She also has a book out that she put out last year, Do It Anyway. We'll be talking to her. Spreading some love and some positivity. It's that type of day. So call us up, 800-292-5150. Let us know who you would love to shine a light on. It's Way Up.
I'ma shine.
Turn your lights on, y'all.
Turn your lights on.
Spreading love to those who are doing greatness.
Shine a light on them. Shine a light on them.
It's time to shine a light on them.
Yo, it's Way Up at Angela Yee, and it's time to shine a light. And today, I want to shine a light on Rihanna and Fenty. Fenty has partnered with the New York Liberty. They partnered with the WNBA. In May, they actually inked their first beauty and skin sports contract with the New York Liberty. And according to the vice president of brand strategy, Sukiana Chanty, she said there's not one monolithic view of what a female athlete looks like, and there's not one monolithic view of what beauty and beautiful looks like. This is the perfect intersection, really, of the marriage of these two brands, Fenty Beauty and New York Liberty. I love to see it because they talk about the record numbers of the WNBA in this past year. Regular season broadcasts saw a 170% increase in viewership. And they also posted their highest attendance in 22 years. So shout out to Fenty for leading that charge also. You know, I was recently at a New York Liberty game with Vagisil, and just seeing all these different brands just stepping up and sponsoring. This is a type of investment that we need to help the league continue to grow. All right. So just shine a light. Now, 800-292-5150. Gas, who do you want to shine a light on?
I'm shining a light on myself because I don't know if you remember when I called in a year ago, told you I was in school for creative writing, and I had 5 kids, and I was 40, and I was just going to college. He was like, yeah, I did the same thing. So I just wanted to call you and tell you I graduated from Full Sail like 2 months ago with my creative writing degree. So I just had to tap in and tell you I appreciate your motivation, and I want to shine a light on myself.
That's right, Gas. I love to see it.
Heck yeah. So hopefully I see you in the industry one of these days soon, because now I'm grinding. So I'm going to see you soon. And congratulations, y'all, Angela Yee Day. I'm for sure going to be there next year. I'm coming next year regardless.
Okay, listen, you speak everything into existence. I love that. I will see you next year for sure.
All right, Angela. Nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you. That was Shine a Light, 800-292-5150. In case you couldn't get through, you could leave a message and shine a light that way. And when we come back, we have your Yee Tea. We're going to talk about 2 different AI-generated videos, and this is music videos that have been circulating. We'll discuss. One of them is a little embarrassing. The other one's pretty cool. It's Way Up.
They say it's truth in the rumors.
From industry shade to all the gossip, Angela's spilling that Yee tea.
It's Way Up with Angela Yee, and it is time for your Yee Tea. Dan, I'm going to need some backup here. All right, that's my producer who's wearing a face mask.
I know. I don't feel good.
All right, so I want to talk about this Will Smith video that he posted from his tour. People believe that the images are AI-generated images, and this is of fans holding up signs. I will say the audience looks a little weird. Now, some people are saying, well, when you zoom in on things, it does make it look different. But, you know, I want to know what your thoughts are when you took a look at it.
I think it looks like AI crowd, and it's kind of embarrassing.
Because I was trying to see if anybody posted that was actually at any of these shows to see if I could find, like, you know, if somebody was there and it was as crowded as this and people were holding up signs. You can make it. Help me survive cancer. Thanks, Will.
Yeah, for me, it's the signs.
Yeah.
I only, you know, showed you that one sign. There's a lot of signs that just don't seem like, I don't know. Do people bring signs to concerts anymore?
Yeah, somebody put up, take us back to Bel Air. Like, I don't know if it's, you know.
It doesn't seem real.
But then I've seen other people's video footages of him on stage and then it's just so hard to tell.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I just don't know because it's him on stage and then people flash to the audience And I'm like, is this real or is it fake? I can't tell. And I want to see audience people actually post these, like people who were there. I haven't seen that. All right, now, speaking of AI, Sean Paul has debuted his first AI-directed video, and that is for this song, Ginger.
Girl, you got me wrapped around your finger, spicy like a ginger. Ginger, hey. Girl, you're different, and you got sent. Well, excellent, girl, you're magnificent.
All right, so he's also directing. He's the creative director of this video. That's the first time in his career that he's going behind the scenes as also the director. And if you take a look at it, you can see him as Indiana Jones. You can see him in Pirates of the Caribbean. You can see him in Titanic, Iron Man, all of these things. So he's the person that's like the star of these Hollywood movies.
It is scary seeing how AI is taking over the music industry, though. Have you seen this K-pop Demon Hunters thing? That's crazy.
And I just am curious is what is this going to do to actual artistry?
There's 4 songs from that AI movie that's in the top 10.
Yeah, like what does this do to artists and their ability to make money? Who's getting paid from this?
Yeah.
Because if labels are like, we ain't got to pay people, we
Right.
keep all the money, why would they?
Right.
All right, Lil Nas X has pleaded not guilty to 4 felonies after he got arrested last Thursday. He was on Ventura Boulevard in L.A. in his underwear and cowboy boots. He was charged with 3 counts of battery against a police officer and 1 count of resisting an executive officer. He was detained. He had bail set at $75,000. And he did plead not guilty during his arraignment. He has been out now. And there's a pretrial on September 15th. He does face up to 5 years in prison if convicted. They said he attacked police officers and it's more than just a crime, but a direct threat to public safety. So it'll be interesting to see what he says. I saw the video of him exiting and people screaming at him. He didn't have anything to say yet. But I'm sure at some point he'll speak out. All right. Well, that is your Yeetie. When we come back, we have About Last Night where we discuss what we did last night. I'm getting ready to go to D.C. for the day. We'll talk about it. It's way up.
So, about last night. Here's how it went down.
All right. It's way up with Angela Yee. I'm here. And of course, my guy Dan is here. Even though he's sick, I'm trying to stay far away from him.
I got a mask on.
Oh, I got a mask on. Quick question, Dan. How did you get sick? Like,
I have no idea. I woke up this way.
I woke up like this.
Or maybe, I don't know, I was around a lot of people on E-Day.
Sometimes it's also air conditioning. Do you sleep with the air conditioning or
We
a fan on?
definitely do.
Yeah.
AC.
I realize that it is true that when I sleep with the AC on too much, it does make you feel sick. And sometimes you need to clean the filters out. Just some advice.
I'll hit the landlord.
Yeah, hit the landlord. See what those filters are looking like. So yesterday when I left work, I actually, what I try to do sometimes is, me and my boyfriend will pick like a random restaurant to go to. So we Google and we come up with a neighborhood we want to eat at, and then we picked a random Italian restaurant. So we did that. Fortunately, it turned out good because sometimes you could pick a random restaurant and it's not a great situation, especially on a Monday. A lot of things are closed on Mondays. And then after that, I went home and caught up on the show that I told you I've been loving this show, Platonic, that's on Apple. That's with Seth Rogen. And so I've been telling you to watch it. You have not.
I know. I gotta check it out.
You have not watched it
I
yet.
know.
But you know what? I can't give it away. You kind of have to see it. But
That's with Seth Rogen?
yes, that's
Yeah,
with
he's
Seth
hilarious.
Rogen and Rose Byrne, and it's hilarious. So that's basically what my day was yesterday. But you know what else I did? Love Island.
Yep.
The Love Island reunion was on yesterday, and I want to say that there's been so many things in the news about this particular show. There were rumors of people breaking up, unfollowing each other. We talked about that yesterday. But it looks like a lot of those unfollows happened after the reunion. So unfortunately, they didn't have a chance to address some of that. Sometimes I think people do things also to like bring some hype to the show. Like maybe they said, unfollow each other, get people talking, and then we'll do the reunion.
Also a possibility.
Yeah, just...
The show was very overproduced, so that's not, impossible.
You mean the reunion or the whole series?
The whole show.
Yeah.
Super produced.
It's interesting because I think, who's your favorite couple on Love Island?
Nick and Alandria.
Yeah, that's my favorite couple too, but I also feel like people don't think their relationship is real.
It's real, yeah. Well, they
And-
addressed that
Yeah.
in the reunion.
Yeah, so that's interesting to me that, and I think also, what about Ace
And Shelly?
and Shelly? Yeah. I think they're
for real.
Shelly. They had some drama in the beginning because they knew each other before the show.
Allegedly.
No, they did. They
Yeah.
said they knew each
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
It's not alleged.
But
they had ran into each other. I think he tried to
the
holler at
levels
her.
to it were alleged.
Right,
Like,
the levels to
there
it,
were-
but
yeah.
they definitely did know each other first.
Yeah, yes.
That's why people thought that they like scammed and decided to
Right,
come on together.
right.
But when we come back, we'll talk about some of the highlights on Love Island, the reunion that happened yesterday. Taylor finally had some words for Alondria. It didn't go over well. There was some awkward moments. Huda, I think she had some viral moments as usual. I feel like she's the most followed one on the show.
She is.
She's got the most followers. But racism came up. And she's involved in that conversation, and definitely want to hear what you guys think about that, because she said she was getting racist attacks and people attacked her for saying that. But we'll discuss. It's way up.
I've been way up with Angela Yee.
Come right back.
More now.
Yeah, it's way up with Angela Yee, and I don't know who watched Love Island more, me or Dan. Dan, maybe you. You had a watch party last
Maybe.
night for the reunion.
My wife had a watch party.
All right, well, let's get into it. We were talking about how there were allegations that the winners, Brian and Amaya, broke up because they unfollowed each other. But there were also these cheating allegations that surfaced online. Well, Brian did address those allegations. Here's what he said.
The cheating video, the hosting, I got paid to be there. I used to bartend back in the day at a lapse of judgment, and we've talked about it.
Yeah.
The lapse in judgment was what?
Pouring shots around, giving the crowd shots and stuff like that.
I'm also like not a woman that would be with someone who doesn't respect me. So if I'm with him and still with him, it's clearly because the relationship dynamic is healthy and great.
Some people feel like Amaya had one of the worst experiences while there. As
She
far
had it
as
rough
like,
in the beginning.
Yeah, she did. I was like, I don't know if she's going to make it.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Chris and Huda, clearly the two of them, it did not work out for them. And here is what their conversation is on what it's like for them to be up there on the stage together.
How is it seeing each other?
Fine.
Weird.
Chris, how do you feel about what Huda has said in the press about you since leaving the villa?
I don't respect it at all. She's had a month to apologize and talk to me about it, but she waited till 2 or 3 days before today to try to reach out, and I just kind of took that as I know why you're doing it.
Well, that didn't work out, and I guess his mom don't like her.
No.
In addition to that, Huda got called out for not denouncing racism and for letting the audience believe that Shelly and Alondria were bullying her when she said that she was bullied in the house, and then people were attacking them, and she had a talk behind the scenes about addressing it. Alondria ended up unfollowing Huda because Huda never spoke up for her and kind of let the bullies know, no, these were not the people that I was addressing when I was talking about bullies. And here is what that conversation sounded like.
Truly wish you would have just prioritized that moment to just address the racism and the bullying towards me and Shelly, since that was spewed out the most. That hurt.
I was getting hated on as well, racially.
I get that, but your face was not plastered on George Floyd's body.
I didn't even
Mine
see
was.
that.
I told
That's the
you
other
that.
thing.
This was as a result.
It
I
was
don't
that
condone
bad.
that.
That hurt.
And I'm sorry.
This was an interesting conversation to me because people did not like that Huda said she went through racist attacks too, right?
Well, yeah, two things can be true here.
Two things can be true,
She's
right?
Palestinian, so she was facing.
They had her face on the body of a bomber, and they were telling her go back to Gaza and things like that. But I think in a way that kind of took away from what Alondria's point was in that moment.
Correct, because Alondria. It's so funny. I know this so well. Alondria, I know. Alondria is clear that she had the conversation with Huda, being like, "You said you were going to do this," and then went live and didn't address it.
Yeah. Yeah, and definitely should have, especially because she said she was going to. Taylor has finally apologized to Alondria. I think a lot of people did not like him because of how he treated Alondria. He was all on her, and then the people feel like he just wasn't attracted to her. That wasn't even his type. He never liked her. He just wanted to stay on the show. Here's what he had to say when he apologized to Alondria.
Yeah, well, I was waiting for the right time. This is the right time in front of everybody. The way it started, so I do want to say, I'm sorry for everything. We grew so close, so fast. You was my dog in there. We laughed about everything, and you still my dog.
Do we clap?
All right, and just to end it, we don't have to play this clip, but Nick and Alondra seem like they're doing extremely well.
Yeah.
I think out of all the couples, Shelly and Ace and Nick and Alondra seem like the ones that are like...
Ace said he's in love.
He's in love. He said there'll never be anyone else. That's his last.
Yep.
All right, well, that is your Love Island recap. Dan was definitely wanting to do this, so we had to make it happen because he came in here...
The number one show. Let's be real here.
As soon as I walked in, you were like, oh my God, did you see?
That's exactly what it was like.
Well, anyway, when we come back, you know what? Since love is in the air, let's get into some Yee Tea. Oh, no. Why am I saying Yee Tea? That's not... Is it? Okay, it is. Okay. Let's talk about Russell Westbrook when we come back. Love is in the air, guys. It's way up.
Lay it up off this pot.
Let's get it.
Oh, yeah. Angela's spilling that Yee Tea.
Come and get the tea.
It's way up at Angela Yee, and it is time for your Yee Tea. So Russell and Nina Westbrook have decided to renew their vows, and they had a ceremony on a boat in Italy. They've been spotted enjoying their time together. They got married at the Beverly Hills Hotel back in August of 2015, and they had a vow renewal ceremony. And, you know, shout out to them, though. That's beautiful. He was just in Sierra's video. Russell Westbrook, a different Russell than her husband, but Russell Westbrook, and it looked like they were having a good time. It was super cute. All right, now we're talking about marriage. Now we're talking about divorce. Tyreek Hill from the Miami Dolphins. Guess how much he has to pay his estranged wife, Kita Vaccaro, after their 17-month marriage? Does anybody in the room know?
It's got to be a lot. He's a high-paid athlete.
Well, according to the Daily Mail, he must provide between $20,000 and $50,000 every month.
Sheesh.
That's called status quo support. She also got a $500,000 check earlier this summer, $100,000 toward a new car, and over $450,000 to cover her legal fees. Also, exclusive use of their $5.5 million Miami waterfront condo. She gets that, while he's responsible for the mortgage, insurance, utilities, and internet.
I also saw a really funny meme. I don't know how 100% true this is, but it said Tyreek Hill had more kids last year than touchdowns.
Sheesh.
He had 4 touchdowns and allegedly 5.
I don't know how many years. But I will say this. This has nothing to do with the final settlement. So this is just terms right now while they're estranged. She filed for divorce on April 7th, one day after police responded to a report of an assault in progress at their apartment. And according to her mother, she says that he's aggressive and impulsive through a laptop and things like that. Police have not determined that a crime had been committed, though, but this divorce case has ballooned to more than 130 court filings. There's all kinds of disputes. He wants to continue driving his Bentley SUV, but the judge said that instead he provided her with $100,000 for another vehicle.
Yeah, and Tyreek's currently under a $90 million contract that expires in 26.
Sheesh. You guys, I don't even know how this is going to end up, but, you know. There you go. One person's happy, one person isn't. Kobe Bryant has a biopic in the works, according to reports. And according to reports from the Shade Room Variety Complex, they have a spec script for revolving around the days leading up to him being drafted. That could be exciting.
That's awesome.
To watch. So there's going to be a lot of things that are extremely fascinating that people want to watch. We'll check this out and see. I'm not mad at that. All right. Well, that is your Yee Tea. When we come back, we have Under the Radar. These are the stories that are not necessarily in the headlines. They're flying under the radar, but you definitely need to know about them. You know what I want to talk about that we haven't really addressed yet? Southwest Airlines and how people are so mad at them for their very controversial new passenger policy. They're always adding different policies. This one has people in an uproar. I'll talk about it when I come back. It's Way Up.
Under the Radar.
It's Way Up with Angela Yee, and it is time for your Under the Radar stories. All right, Southwest Airlines is now implementing a new measure. And that means if you are plus size, you might have to purchase an extra seat. This is going to be starting January 27th. And if you are, quote unquote, encroaching upon the neighboring seat, you'll have to buy an extra seat in advance. And if you don't buy one ahead of time, you'll be required to buy one at the airport. And so the current policy, plus size passengers can proactively purchase an additional seat with the option of being refunded later or request a free extra seat at the airport. But this new mandate is saying the second seat is non-refundable unless the flight isn't fully booked at the time of departure. If it is fully booked, then the flyer will be rebooked onto a new flight. Can you imagine this? Like, do they put you on the plane, sit there and see if you spill over into the next seat?
That is true.
I mean, this is awful. And I would hate to have to be the flight attendant who has to deal with that. Because you know how awful that is?
Yeah.
Like, I just don't think this is a great idea and this is going to end well for them. But they've had a few different policies. Like, remember they used to have that first come, first serve seating policy? That used to give me anxiety. I flew on there one time. I was like, I don't think I could do this again.
Isn't Spirit like that?
I thought they gave you a seat. You could pay for an assigned seat though, I believe. Now they also got rid of the bags fly free policy. You are allowed 2 complimentary checked pieces of luggage. So people are saying this is the wrong move right now of what they're doing.
Hey, you want to save some money? You know what you're getting. That's it.
Well, not if you spill over into the next seat. You're definitely not going to be saving any money. All right. Now, Donald Trump has signed an executive order. You know, he was signing a bunch of executive orders yesterday. We were talking about it behind the scenes up here because it's literally while we were on the air, they said he was signing these executive orders. And one of them is requiring that the Justice Department investigates and prosecutes people if you burn the American flag. They're saying that previously the U.S. Supreme Court said it's a legitimate political expression that's protected by the Constitution. But now with this executive order, you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail. You don't get 10 years. You don't get 1 month, Donald Trump said. You get 1 year and it goes on your record and you will see flag burning stopping immediately. That's his plan. A lot of people are questioning the legality and the merit of these actions. A lawyer working for a free speech group said Trump does not have the power to rewrite the First Amendment. So it'll be interesting to see how this happens because it feels like a lot of things that he's been doing, a lot of people that he's been firing, he may not even have the authority to go ahead and do that. So I don't know if signing an executive order allows that to happen. And in good news for anybody who is still wanting to play the Powerball, apparently the jackpot has grown to $815 million. Nobody won yesterday. So you still have a chance to get that huge jackpot. You know what the cash payout is on $815 million if you take the cash payout? Somebody guess.
480.
Less. 367.9 million. Isn't that crazy? I'll take it. Yeah. But that's a lot of money. All right. Well, that is your Under the Radar. Now, we do have the Way Up mix for you at the top of the hour. And we have a beautiful guest joining us today, inside and out. Her spirit is amazing. I know you already love her. Tasha Cobbs Leonard is going to be joining us. Her album, Tasha, is available already. Her book, Do It Anyway, came out last year. We'll discuss all of those things with her. She is so transparent and amazing. It's Way Up.
Just like to talk like they Angela Yee, like they Angela Yee.
Man, she's spilling it all. This is Yee T. Way Up.
Yo, it's Way Up with Angela Yee, and it is time for your Yee Tea. Now, Joy Taylor has given an update on what's been going on with her since getting caught up in that alleged sex scandal. That's all back when Skip Bayless was being accused by a former Fox Sports staffer, along with Joy Taylor and other people, of creating a toxic working environment. Well, she recently was on Cam Newton's Funky Friday podcast, and here is what she had to say about what her experience has been like.
I'm much better now. There was definitely some moments where it was very, very dark for me, but I've leaned on the people in my life that I know have my back, that I know trust and love me. Therapy, some medication, working out a lot, and drowning out the noise. You know, I don't think it's really positive to consume everything negative that people have to say about you.
It's interesting because people talk so crazy about her and say the worst things about her, regardless of how you feel about her as, you know, we don't even know what happened with this whole entire scandal, right? We don't know if any of the things that are being said are true, but she's been a professional at work and good at her job, and people just say nasty, disgusting things. It's awful. What do you think, Dan?
I would just say my thing is we just don't know what happened.
We don't.
So, you know.
And then it doesn't help that, like, at least she was still working, and now it's like that job is gone.
Yeah.
And so that's even like doubling down on the weight that has to have on somebody, and people talking crazy about you. You know, sometimes people really rejoice in other people's downfall. I will say that. All right. Now, Karen Huger, it looks like she does have a release date. I saw that this was an exclusive on the Jasmine brand. And according to the Jasmine brand, she's going to be released next week on September 2nd. That would be an early release for Karen. She was sentenced back in February to 2 years with 1 suspended and 5 years of probation, $2,900 in fine. So it looks like she'll be home relatively soon. Whew, I know that was tough for Karen. I can't even imagine what that situation for her could have possibly been like. All right. And Power Book 2 star Alex Lepre was arrested in Georgia on child cruelty charges. She plays Effie on Power Book 2 Ghost, and she was released 24 hours after she was arrested, but authorities have not released the details. But what we do know, it looks like what they're saying is it has something to do with, and I saw people were saying child cruelty. Did she do something to a child? But it's not anything that she did. The charge does not require physical harm to the child, but it focuses on exposing them to traumatic events. So what they're kind of saying is that there was like a fight that happened in front of a child or something like that. But we do know Michael Rainey Jr., who stars alongside her on Power Book 2 Ghost, went on Instagram and said, on the real though, y'all got to start reading before commenting. She didn't hurt any kids. Y'all are hoping that's the case so bad. That's crazy SMH. So just giving you an update on what's happened there. All right, well, that is your Yee Tea. And when we come back, we have Ask Yee. 800-292-5150 is the number. You know what we're here for. We are here to help you out. Again, that's 800-292-5150. Call us up. Ask Yee is next.
Relationship or career advice. Angela's dropping facts.
All you should know.
This is Ask Yee.
What's up is Way Up with Angela Yee, and it is time for Ask Yee. 800-292-5150 is the number. Now, this is where you get a chance to ask me any question that you want, and I'm going to help you out. You always can do this on voicemail, too, so that means you can call us, 800-292-5150, or if you are on the iHeartRadio app, you can just click that microphone and leave a message. We'll get that call. So today, Chris left a message. Here's his question.
What up, though, Yee? This is Chris from Detroit. I got a question for you. How do I deal with a situation when you in love with a person that you used to be with and one of their friends or so-called friends lied and said that you slept with them when you didn't sleep with them? How do you get her back if nothing ever happened between you and the so-called third-party friend?
I want to know what this person's motivation is for lying and saying that they slept with you, because that just seems like such a weird lie. Usually women don't lie and say they slept with somebody that they didn't, and especially to a friend. So unless this person is like infatuated with you or there's something else going on here, I just need to understand that part of it. But what I will say is you have to get to the bottom of it. And this is going to sound crazy, but if there's a way that you can have a conversation with this person and record it and play it, or even get somebody else involved to be like, why are you lying and making this up? Because my whole thing is anybody could say anything. We all know that. But if there's no evidence, like where are the text messages where we were texting back and forth? Where are the phone calls where you were telling me to come over? Because if those exist, then it makes sense that it happened if there's some type of evidence. But what I don't understand is how somebody can just say this, but you don't have anything to back it up with. And so if your ex wants to get back together with you, I think that you should be able to have these conversations and convince her if something is not true, and show her why it's not true, and show her you don't even have any evidence of this even happening. But I just don't understand the nature of what your relationship is with this person for me to fully be able to answer this question. All right, the number is 800-292-5150. If you ever have any questions for Ask Yee, we will definitely help you out. And when we come back, this is so exciting. Tasha Cobbs Leonard is going to be joining us. I know y'all already follow her, but she'll be talking about her new album, Tasha, that came out last month, as well as her book. I haven't had a chance to catch up with her for Do It Anyway, but this book is the reason why she even felt like she could do an actual studio album that is this personal. It's Way Up.
And I'm back.
We about to do this. One of the most famous women in radio. We're talking about Angela Yee.
You're Way Up with Angela Yee.
Please believe that.
What's up is Way Up with Angela Yee, and today we are definitely way up, and I needed this today. Tasha Cobbs Leonard is here with me. Thank you for coming to the studio.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Man, it is an honor, and congratulations on the album. And I know you've been working and doing live albums, but for you to have put together this studio project, how do you feel now that it's out?
I feel great. And you know what? I expected it to take some time, people to sit and listen to it, but people have fallen in love with these songs. And I was a little nervous. You know, it's something new. It's something different for me. So I did it really with my knees shaking, just really nervous. But everybody's response has been absolutely incredible. So I'm super excited.
And to have put out a book also prior to that.
Yeah.
That was your first book, right?
Yes.
Do It Anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so I feel like this album, it just kind of builds on the foundation that the book created, like this new transparency, telling stories about my life, the ups and downs. And you can't be that open and then go back to a place of being closed. It's like, now that I've put it all out there, let's also do that in the music. And so these songs are very transparent. They're, you know, in your face. It's talking about, you know, some hard seasons that I've gone through, hard conversations that we have with God. Sometimes like, what are you doing? I talked about, you know, us losing the baby. I talked about going through the grief with my dad and what that really looks like. And now with the songs, I can be honest that when my faith was shaken, I had questions.
Right now, I'm talking to Tasha Cobbs Leonard. Her album Tasha is available now.
Wow.
You know, you also discuss social media and being on TikTok. And you had a moment when you realized, like, okay, I'm gonna just put a little something up on here. Maybe a few people will look at it. Very quickly, over 1 million views. When did you realize the audience that you had and just really that it was like, this is your true calling?
One of the moments that I realized that my platform was very influential was when I did the first song with Nicki Minaj.
Oh, yes.
That was the first controversial moment that I had online. And, you know, sometimes people will come to me and say, well, what do you think about the girls that are watching you and they're exposed to this because I feel like, too, the Bible talks about training up a child in the way they should go, and then when they grow old, they won't depart from it. Like, I think it's the responsibility of parents still to be, you know, that influence over your children's lives. And you can't really depend so much
on celebrities,
influencers to raise your kid.
You know, I also was thinking about, there was like some chatter about Glorilla winning, and I
Maverick
saw
City,
and so I saw that conversation. What did you think about that for Glorilla winning for, like, I think it was best
BT Awards? Yeah, she best gospel album. You know, people are always going to feel some kind of way, like you said, with these collaborations. One of the things that I do want to say is I think in that conversation, we overlooked talking about the gospel artists who were on that track. So you had Kirk Franklin, you had Kiera Shear, Kelly, you had Chandler Moore. So it's not void of gospel artists. And these are major gospel artists who are doing great things, who were also on that song. It just happened to be a feature with Glorilla. So they all won a BT Award. So the argument is, how can a rap artist win a gospel award? But you also had gospel artists on that song as well.
Tasha Cobbs Leonard is here joining us. She is literally the Billboard 2020 Gospel Artist of the Decade. Not just the year, but the decade. And I know you already know why, but we have more with her when we come back. It's Way Up.
Yeah, let's go.
Turn me up. Here we go again.
This is Way Up with Angela Yee.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee, and I am here with truly a legend, the 2020 Gospel Music Artist of the Decade, according to Billboard and according to a lot of us. Tasha Cobbs Leonard is here. It's interesting that you've managed to be the light for so many people, but then have been in a dark place yourself. And people would never expect that.
Yeah, I was probably between the years of 2010 to about 2012. I was in a really, really dark place. Just battling depression and fear and anxiety. And I remember just one night I woke up and I just felt like, hey, I got to get free from this, because what God has for me, I can't go into it if I don't break this.
Right.
You know, and so the song Break Every Chain, people talk about that song, but I experienced the chains breaking off of my life through that song.
Don't you think? And to do a song like that is like the biggest, you know, smash hit record, but it came from such a place in your own life. It's crazy how something like that, your darkness turned into like a huge light for so many people, including yourself.
Yeah, that song, I'll never forget it. For 2 weeks straight, I would just play it constantly in my house. Like, I needed those chains of depression and fear to be broken off of my life. And for years, I had battled with it, and I just could not get it to break. But I think the intentionality of just reminding myself of that God loves me, that I'm made in his image and his likeness. Because during that time, my entire life, I had struggled with weight. I was 350 pounds right around 2012. And that was the heaviest I had ever been. It was the darkest place I had ever been mentally, just really, really struggling. And I feel like the weight was an outward display of what I was dealing, the weight.
Right, that was a reflection.
Internally. Yeah. Yeah. And so I just made a decision back then that I am going to drop this weight. I'm going to break this chain of fear and depression that's on my life. And I was very, very intentional about it. I changed the way that I spoke because I believe you live out what you say.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times, sometimes we just have to change our language that, I am loved. I am beautiful. God cares about me. I'm made in his image. And it just changed my lifestyle. And the more that I did it, the more I could see just like the light coming in,
right?
In that dark place that I was in.
Right now, I'm talking to Tasha Cobbs Leonard. Her album Tasha is available now. I love that you say that because sometimes people look at someone who's overweight and will be like, they just eat too much or they're just lazy. And they need to just go to the gym and eat less. And it's not that easy. If it was that easy, no one would be overweight.
That's it. Yeah. It's a disease. Obesity is a disease. And I would love for people, if I could just be an advocate, if people would see it that way, the way that you deal with those people that you love who struggle with that disease, you would approach it differently. I remember when I lost the weight, my mom came to me. I'm sorry, I went to my mother because I saw a picture and I was like, Mommy, I was dying. Why didn't you say anything? And, her answer was, we didn't know what to say or how to say it without it hurting your feelings or without it breaking you. And so a lot of times people just don't address it because they don't know what to say.
But they're like, oh, you look beautiful.
Yeah. And it's the same thing with grief. Sometimes you just don't know what to say when the truth is people need you to say something, So I feel like even for those people, you have loved ones who are struggling with the disease of obesity, just kind of be intentional about loving on them, inviting them to the gym with you, inviting them to go out on a walk with you, living out a healthy life in front of them.
Tasha Cobbs Leonard is here, so we got to do one more break with her. Normally, when we come back, we would have last word. You would have last word, but instead, we're going to let Tasha Cobbs Leonard have the last word. It's Way Up.
And I'm back. We're about to do this. One of the most famous women in radio. We're talking about Angela Yee.
You're Way Up with Angela Yee.
Please believe that.
What's up is Way Up with Angela Yee, and what a privilege to have Tasha Cobbs Leonard here with us. Her album, Tasha, is out right now. She's got her book out, Do It Anyway. Let's get into it. What do you tell yourself about what's happening in the United States right now? There's a lot of things being rolled back, and then we have to be like, why is this happening?
Yeah.
And for everybody else who's wondering, what do we do? Like, businesses are suffering. Black women with employment and entrepreneurship are suffering. Education, the system is suffering. There's just so much going on. The National Guard is being called into D.C. It just feels like chaos right now. So what would you say in a time like this to somebody who is like, why is this happening?
Yeah, I have to be true to who I am. I think that in this season, we have to run to God and find out what his plan is for your life. I was at a conference the other day, and the speaker was up and he said something that was just so touching to me. Like, sometimes we got to clear out all of the noise, all of the clutter. And if that means to turn off the news sometimes, if that means to deactivate your Instagram and your TikTok for a little while so you can hear what God desires for you and your family right now. What are the steps and the moves that I need to make? And I think we also have to be a little bit more wise with how we spend, what we're spending on, how we're navigating through life. Those of us who are children of God, we live different.
Right.
And we cannot live in fear. I refuse to live in fear of what's going to happen next. What's the doom that's going to happen next? Because that's not God's will for me. God's will is that we prosper and be in good health, even as our souls prosper. And the one place that you have to run to, even when things are frantic and there's a lot of anxiety and fear, you have to run to Jesus.
I know that's right.
Yeah. I had to preach a little bit right there.
I needed that. And I'm sure everybody listening needed that too.
Yeah.
But Tasha Cobbs Leonard, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah.
This was honestly amazing and such a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
And just enjoying your whole story, your new album, Tasha, that's out right now. So make sure you check that out. And if you haven't read Do It Anyway, pick that up. As you can see, I was all into it.
Thank
so
you.
Sometimes I need to learn like what prayers I think it's very helpful just as a guide.
Awesome.
For me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much to Tasha Cobbs Leonard. Make sure you watch that full interview on my YouTube channel, Way Up with Yee. Also, make sure if you haven't listened to the album Tasha yet, make sure you go run that up, stream it, buy it, do whatever you got to do. Follow her. You probably already do. And you guys have an amazing day. I'm headed out to DC right now. I will see y'all tomorrow. It's Way Up.